Today on Eagle Nation News, Maya Peterson is in studio with some breaking news following an announcement from the NCAA.
Grant Johnson sat down with the X Games athletes who put on the ASA anti-bullying presentation during homecoming week.
And finally, Mia Matney and Maddie Wilbanks highlight the theatrical makeup class at PHS and the gore makeup they're doing for Halloween.
Eagle Nation News starts
right now. Good afternoon, Eagle Nation. Today's Wednesday, October 30th. I'm Grant Johnson.
And I'm Julia Bizayan.
There has been constant debate on whether college athletes can receive a salary from endorsement deals and other sports-related events.
Maya Peterson is in studio revealing the NCAA's decision on the pay of college athletes.
The NCAA released big news yesterday that college athletes will be compensated. Compensation will be based on athletes' name, image, and their likeliness. The debate on athletes being awarded for their diligence and effort on and off the field has been going on for years now. One side feels having your education fee wiped is enough, while the other side feels schools are awarded sponsorships and perks for having players such as Zion Williamson, DeAndre Ayton, or Markelle Fultz. LeBron James has been an advocate for players to be compensated. Last year, James sat down with the NCAA governor to discuss the next steps surrounding the topic. Players were allowed to acquire agents to help with sponsorships after college. James felt this was the start to the journey, but not the end of the journey. As he pushed and pulled with the governor, he played both sides. Education has as much value as athlete, but that still does not take away the value of the athlete themselves. When the news was released, the NCAA simply said, "We must embrace change to provide the best possible experience for college athletes." LeBron responded with, "It's a beautiful day for our athletes going forward. Not a victory, but a start. Congrats to all college athletes for this win, and good luck to our future athletes heading to college next year." There are still many questions such as, what will the base pay be? What happens if a player doesn't get any play time? And will players continue to be rewarded full ride scholarships? Also, will this affect the decisions of 2020 athletes as basketball players are able to choose the league over college now? What we do know, the road has been paved now. It is in the hands of our athletes to keep their image up, which is their end of the bargain. Focusing on their image and other things might take away from sports, but that's just all right. If you'd like to hear more sports like this, be sure to tune in every day for a recap of sports from this past week. And back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Maya. Tomorrow is the spookiest day of the year, and I know I'm excited to see everyone's costumes and makeup.
I can completely agree, and theater has been actually practicing gory makeup techniques in honor of Halloween. Check it out.
During Halloween season, the Prosper Theater Department begins to experiment with different Halloween makeup looks and learn several techniques along the way.
We do makeup because it's a skill that our students need to learn how to do. It's theatrical makeup. That's what we're teaching here. But in this particular case, it's providing an opportunity for our students at our school to have this kind of face painting and gore makeup and still provide safety in our schools.
There's a lot of creativity that goes into it, and it's also a sort of form of personal expression. There aren't very many classes when you get to kind of explore your creativity visually like this.
I think it's really fun to be really creative and just do kind of what you want with your makeup and stuff like that. It's a lot of freedom and stuff.
The students do many different looks, but what different tools do they use to make these looks come alive?
So we use scar wax and latex for more gore type stuff if we want to simulate skin or cuts or burns. And then we use grease paint, oil paint, or water-based or alcohol-based paint to put color and stuff into it. And then if we're doing any gore type stuff, we have different types of blood. We have dark blood, light blood, scab blood, thick blood, thin blood, and all that stuff.
If you are interested in getting special effects makeup, come to the cafeteria Thursday morning at 7:30 to get your makeup done. For Eagle Nation News, I'm Maddie Wilbanks. Prosper.
United States government organizations have released that during Saturday's Syria raid, top secret information about ISIS was collected. Along with collecting said vital information, leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, along with his successor, has been killed, which President Trump is taking pride in. The United States is considering this occurrence as a, quote, mark of success against ISIS. Reporters do still remind us that while we did take out 2 big players in the organization, we have not defeated ISIS as a whole.
Monday at 2 a.m., 30-year-old Chaz Halston Thames caused a fatal crash on Dallas North Tollway by driving the wrong direction while intoxicated. Information has been released by the Department of Public Safety that Thames has 3 previous DWI convictions from 2011, 2013, and 2016, with the 2016 arrest landing him a 10-year sentence. Thames is now being held on a $100,000 bond at the Collin County Jail.
The FDA has confirmed listeria in apples that were distributed by a Michigan produce company. Honeycrisp, Fuji, and Red Delicious are just some of the varieties of apples that were distributed to retailers in Florida, Illinois, Kentucky, Louisiana, Michigan, North Carolina, Texas, and Wisconsin between October 16th and 24th that are expected to carry the bacteria. The infected apples are typically being sold in clear plastic bags and containers, white paper bags, and individually.
Now, Casey Boston is here in studio with your Talent Talk, sponsored by Corbridge Orthodontics.
Since January, we have known that Ben Affleck would no longer be playing Batman due to him not being able to quote-unquote crack the character. By letting go of this character, he hoped to give someone else a chance to play Batman, leaving people wondering who the next actor would be to step up and play the well-known hero. From Twilight to now the DC Universe, it has been announced that Robert Pattinson would be fulfilling this role. When can you expect to see him in theaters? Matt Reeves is directing the next Batman movie, which is expected to be released June 25th of 2021. So not this upcoming summer, but the next. Robert Pattinson has spoke out on his new role and stated that he both loves the character and the director. Now at E&M, we've decided to reach out to you guys and find out your thoughts on if you plan to see how Pattinson plans to fill his shoes. Be sure to take our poll on Twitter at Eagle Nation News to let us know your thoughts. That's all that I have for you today. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Casey. I'm sure everyone felt pretty chilly on the way into school this morning, and in studio with more is Brenna Gibbons.
The temperature is 46 degrees and cloudy, and feels a lot colder though, around 36 degrees. We should be expecting some rain throughout the day. Going on into the rest of the week, we should be expecting a range in temperatures between the low 50s to high 60s, and mostly sunny. The temperatures will be rising come next Tuesday. However, there are possible chances of rain expected. With your fast forecast, I'm Brenna Gibbons. Back to you guys at the desk.
During homecoming week, students had the opportunity to watch BMX while receiving an anti-bullying presentation.
Let's take an inside look at the performers' work leading up to this event.
1 in 5 high school students say that they've been bullied at school, according to the Department of Education. Prosper High School students took a break from the homecoming festivities to fill the arena and talk about ways to be better. It's a message we've all heard before, but not like this.
To hear you're going to go to an anti-bullying assembly is probably one of the most boring things you could think of. So we got to find a way to fool them. And we found a way to fool them with bikes, and then they don't realize they're learning this message. I love being kind of at the forefront of bringing BMX to people for the first time, so I want it to look as cool as I can.
A group of X Games athletes travel the country in order to spread a message of kindness. They put on a 45-minute presentation full of the most elaborate and thrilling BMX tricks, accompanied by a positive message of kindness.
Well, basically, so we use action sports, and skateboarding, BMX is pretty much one of the biggest things in the world right now. So we pretty much show up. We have a bunch of the world's best. Everyone here is either a world champion or have X Games medals, and just getting something that kids can relate to and have fun, So we definitely drop a lot of facts about bullying and, how to be nicer to people, but at the same time, we got a pretty heavy-hitting show of some of the best athletes in the world.
The anti-bullying event is funded and backed by the U.S. Marines. The Marines allowed students to participate in a pull-up competition at the end of the show. This program reminded students that bullying is a real issue in American schools and to be mindful of what you say and post about others. For Eagle Nation News, I'm Grant Johnson. Prosper.
That's all the time we have for you today. For Eagle Nation News, I'm Julia Bizion.
And I'm Grant Johnson. Live long and prosper.